Hello everyone, thank you for joining me again for another whiskey review video. I'd like to just apologise for not replying to many comments or posting in a little while. I'm afraid things have been a wee bit difficult. Unfortunately, I lost my mum at the start of the year, and that has obviously been a really difficult time for me. So I've been a wee bit out of the loop in terms of my video blog, but I do want to come back and continue on. So for today's review, I'm actually picking my mum's favourite whiskey, and it's one of my absolute favourites as well. It's the Glengoyne 21-year-old. So I have a bottle here. Unfortunately, it's not a full one, but this was my mum's favourite whiskey, and I think she liked it because there's some aspects to it that are almost not like a whiskey, simply because it's so smooth, it's so rich, and it doesn't have that really burny feeling that you do have with some whiskies. And what I'm doing today is actually pairing it with some chocolates from the Highland Chocolatier, which is near Pitlochry in Scotland. He's probably Scotland's most famous chocolatier, and a lot of distilleries are now working with him to pair certain flavours of chocolates with their core range whiskies, and many distilleries offer tours now that you can do the whiskey chocolate matching, Glengoyne being one of them. So the Glengoyne actually sells these chocolates, this is the little box that they come in, at the distillery, and they pair 2 chocolates with their 15-year-old and 2 chocolates with their 21-year-old as part of their chocolate matching. So today I'm going to have a little taste of the 21-year-old, and then we'll pair it with a couple of the chocolates. So just going to pour myself a little dram here. I should mention I'm back on Isle at the moment, taking a few days respite before heading back to Glasgow tomorrow. So that's a good sized dram there. So this is the Glengoyne 21-year-old, and hopefully you can see just how lovely the colour of this whiskey is. So it's 21 years old, but it has spent its life in first fill European oak Oloroso sherry casks. This whiskey being such a great age and being combined with the finest sherry casks really is just a perfect recipe. Whenever I worked at Glengoyne and we used the 21-year-old for tastings, you just never had any worry that people were going to absolutely love it, even if they weren't massive whiskey drinkers. So I'll give this a little nose. It's just beautiful. It's described as Christmas in a glass, and I really think that is the notions that you get with the 21-year-old. So lots of cinnamon, spiciness, that dried fruit. It reminds me of a pot on the stove with all these fruits with sugar being stewed together. So raisins, sultanas, I do think there's even a very subtle chocolate note itself coming from the whiskey. But you can just smell the luxury from the sherry casks. It's just an unbelievable whiskey. So it's 43%, fairly mild as whiskies go. So with it being not too strong alcohol, it really allows the flavour profile to come through. So on the palate there, it's things like treacle, caramel, Christmas pudding, Christmas cake. It's a really lovely occasion whiskey, as I've used that term before. I think what's the most noticeable about this whiskey is the smoothness of it. It's so smooth. It's just like syrup slipping down your throat. It hardly seems like it is 43%. It's absolutely gorgeous. but I am going to try it with one of the little chocolates that they decide to pair it with. So they're both dark chocolate, they're quite high in cocoa, I think around about 70%. So the first chocolate we have is rich dark chocolate with little flavours of raspberry through it. So I'll take a little sip of the whiskey and a bite of the chocolate. Honestly, that combination is just divine. I've not actually used whiskey chocolate too much. In general, I do a lot of the whiskey and cheese pairings. Next month, however, I'm doing a tasting that we're doing whiskey, cheese and chocolate, and I'm excited to know what people think. But to me, that is just sublime. You've got a wee bit of sharp sweetness of the raspberry from the chocolate, pairing with the obviously strong alcohol whiskey, but together it just comes together so wonderfully. It really is absolutely beautiful. Just the smooth, dark chocolate pairing with this heavily sherried whiskey. It really is excellent. So I'm going to try the second chocolate now, which this one, a wee bit stronger. It's a flavour of ginger. I would say that's really made it quite different. Whereas that first chocolate, it went together very well and the sweet flavours were coming out. Now with this ginger, it's actually giving the 21-year-old a wee bit more fire. Some of the spicy notes, so some of those oaky, woody flavours and the wee bit of cinnamon spice is sort of coming together with this ginger chocolate. So really that is really quite different. So try another little taste. It's really quite amazing how there's definitely more spice, I would say, when you pair the 21-year-old with that slightly spicier chocolate. Overall, this is an absolutely beautiful combination. I think it's a really lovely after dinner sort of thing to try. However, what I would say is the chocolate from Iain Burnett, the Highland Chocolatier, is perfection. It's so high quality, you can taste it in the texture, very, very rich, very, very smooth. And I think that's what you need to stand up to a single malt whisky like the Glengoyne 21-year-old. So unfortunately, can't really just pair it with a bit of Cadbury. Not that I don't like Cadbury, but it's really, really specific chocolates. These were chosen by Iain Burnett and some of the staff at Glengoyne to pair together with the whisky, and I can see why it totally works. It's absolutely stunning. So this video has been a wee bit shorter than some of the other videos. I'm still finding my feet, but I do hope to bring you another whisky review in the upcoming weeks. So bear with me at the moment, but I hope you've enjoyed this little snapshot of whisky and chocolate. So I'll see you all again soon, and thank you for watching.